I feel that a lot of these spreads in this book for the Starseed Oracle are very personal, and I feel like they really can't be done for a general group of people. That's just my personal opinion. So instead of using one of her spreads, we're just going to pull 3 to 4 cards, just whatever we need to know at this time. So whoever is watching, it's going to be whatever messages they need at this time. And remember, it's whenever you watch this. So even if you watch it next year. Okay, so the first card we got is perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So that's a little tiny earth. And it's just a card to remind you that you are a soul. You are not just this human in this life, and maybe even a starseed. And so you have had many lives here on this planet and maybe other planets. And sometimes we need to zoom out and see that there is this larger plan for us and this larger soul journey, and to not basically sweat the small stuff, right? To find the common ground and zoom out and see the larger perspective. I remember soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. Again, you are a soul. You had many lives. There is a larger plan. Your soul made a soul contract. Your soul signed up for these lessons. Have faith that you are on the right path. And if you feel that you're not, then you need to sit and meditate and ask yourself, where am I supposed to be? Like, what lessons is my soul supposed to learn in this life? You know, what would make my soul happy and fulfilled? We ask so many questions from our logical mind. But if we start asking questions from our soul perspective, we get a more fulfilled and joyful life. And so that is the destiny and fated life, right? You have to decide. There's an in-between, you know, where is your path? It's time for you to look into the mirror and decide. I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. So there is some forgiveness that needs to happen at this time. Forgive yourself, forgive other people involved, maybe even apologize. As we go forth on more of a soul path, we have to start forgiving the issues or the mistakes or the things that we've done when we weren't awake, when we weren't awakened to the spiritual path, when we were just kind of on autopilot. We have to begin to forgive ourselves and others for that time and start to put down these roots and allow ourselves to be free. Because when we don't forgive, it's us who's not free, not the other person. And the last one, trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So again, trusting that soul plan, that soul path. So many times we rush through life. I used to be like that. I used to rush through life. I used to feel like time was running out and that I didn't know where I was supposed to be. I used to think I was going to die young. Like, I just had these panics all the time, all this anxiety, until I really got on the spiritual path and really started listening to my soul and meditating and realizing that I am timeless. My soul is timeless. I have all the time in the world. I can be content. I can go with the flow. I can slow down, because really you're eternal. And when you really start to see yourself that way, life just changes for you. It's a different perspective. I hope this reading resonates with you. At the time this video is being made and put out, this is Rebecca Campbell's latest deck. She has a rose-themed deck coming out in 2022, and this came out, and then the book came out. This is Letters to a Starseed, which is kind of interesting. This is her third book and her second deck. And it's funny that the deck came out before the actual book. I think that this is one of the best tools for starseeds. I first heard the term starseed and started doing research, and there's not a whole lot of information out there. There's not a whole lot of books, this being one of the few really out there. That is more recent. There are some channel materials and things from the late 1980s, early 90s. I happen to have a metaphysical library here in town, so I was able to kind of look. But this is the most up-to-date information. And what I personally love about oracle decks is they are, in a sense, mini books or mini courses, if you want them to be, on a given topic. And so I was very interested in starseeds, and I thought, Well, let me just get this deck. I'd heard great things about Rebecca Campbell, and I was really drawn to the artwork of Danielle Noel. Just beautiful collage work, everything that they've done together, and also I have one of Danielle Noel's solo decks, is very much in the divine feminine. Rebecca Campbell's books are all about that as well. There's a lot of pink, a lot of softness, a lot of ancient goddesses, there's a lot of flowers, there's a lot of ancient Egypt and ancient lands. There's a lot about different types of starseeds in here, different planets. It is really just so gorgeous. It has really, she's covered all of the New Age topics that there isn't a lot of information on in one deck. And it's just stunning, really. And the box is interesting. It does this, and there's a couple of readings in the book where she suggests you actually put the cards in here in a way as a way of part of the reading. I personally don't do that. I don't keep my cards in books. I don't keep my cards in boxes, but I do think it'd be cool if you're looking to display maybe a card of the day. You might want to paint this or something, but you can use it that way. There's different ways you can use that, but I personally don't keep my boxes for that. I keep them and I use them as organizers. Very Marie Kondo, right? But I have them here for you to see. So that's kind of part of the mystique, as she talks about the box and the design. Everything Rebecca Campbell does has triangles. The back of the cards have triangle and diamond design. Again, very much into the divine feminine. It's a really well done book. Each section has a couple paragraphs, and then there's always a starseed soul inquiry, which is usually like a question, or there's a starseed activation. So for instance, for earth pulsing, I surrender to the pulse of the mother. May my heart be in unison with her. She tells you to hold the card to your heart and say the activation. So each one of the cards has that. I like this. This deck is in alphabetical order in the book, unlike her other deck, so I prefer that for sure. I really think this is one of the most beautiful decks you can own. They're very intuitive. I don't really ever use the book. The keywords are enough: Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Between the keywords and the photo, the collage, and the artwork, it's really easy to glean meaning and really easy to do readings for yourself and for others. I just think they add a lot, and they go well together with her other deck as well. I do them often together in one reading, in like one spread. But yeah, I just think they're absolutely beautiful. I think they make a good gift for anybody who is interested in being more in that divine feminine path. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a woman or identify as a woman, but someone looking for that femininity and that softness, someone who's like really connected to goddesses or interested in that path, or someone who sees themselves as a starseed or believes that we have cosmic ancestors, which I know I do. I've had a lot of past life regressions and Akashic Records reading where I've seen my lives in, another planet, and I've read books and I've heard from other people. I really think some of our souls are older than we think. And I really do think we are all actual star seeds or star beings. I really do think all of our souls originated somewhere else. That's just personal. And so if you or someone you know is really interested in those things, and this is really such a great deck. And I sometimes I actually really prefer this deck to the book. The book is good, but there's something about a deck, the Oracle deck. Oracle decks in general take you on a journey. They help you deep dive into knowledge or wisdom. And that's why I think so many of us are drawn to them. Not just, like a tarot card or something like that. We're drawn to these decks that have certain themes. And I think that should be honored. So if you're drawn to the Starseed Oracle, I definitely recommend it. It is one of my favorite decks, and I love giving readings for other people. So I'm hoping, if you were considering it, that I have persuaded you maybe to treat yourself.